Happy Monday, everyone. Week 3 of our series. Can you believe that it's been 3 weeks? Well, maybe you can, but I honestly can't believe it's been 3 weeks. I hope that you're finding these informative, and I hope that you're finding them helpful. Today's topic is on support groups. Do you belong to a support group? If so, what's the number one reason that you belong to a support group? Leave me a comment and let me know. And if you don't belong to a support group, hopefully you will consider belonging to a support group after you listen to this. The number one reason that most people belong to support groups is so that they don't feel alone. Having a diagnosis of ataxia or any other condition can make you feel very isolated and all alone. And even though your family can be such a strong support system, if they're not experiencing the same thing that you are, it's very difficult for them to understand. And sometimes you leave conversations with them feeling kind of empty. Like you might be looking for something, some kind of help or some kind of guidance, and they just can't give it to you. The first time I ever went to a support group meeting, I left there feeling a sense of hope, and I left there feeling very encouraged that I wasn't alone. These people got me. They knew what I was talking about. I didn't have to give a backstory. I didn't have to explain myself or John or our situation. People got it. I felt like I found my tribe. These people were my people. They got me. And you know what? That was like huge. It was very huge because up until that point I felt very alone. And John felt very alone. So it was great to find our support group. And I would challenge you to think about support group in the non-traditional sense. So when I first started thinking about joining a support group, my idea of a group was, all these people sitting around in a circle, it being very depressing, people complaining about their situation, and it wasn't like that at all. I went and I found that it was encouraging, that we shared stories, and that many of the people that were in the room were very helpful to me. They gave me tips and tricks to try. And so, that was the other thing that I left feeling a sense of team, and partnership. I don't have to solve this alone. If I have a situation or an issue, I can bring it up to the people in the group. Chances are someone's been through that situation before and they can help me. So, the two heads are always better than one, and it just was a great fit for me because I didn't have to come up and solve everything on my own. I had people that I could bounce ideas off of and people that I could listen to that had already lived through it. So even though our situations and our ataxias were a little bit different, we had similar things that we were working through, and they were very helpful to me. Now, as the years went on, John decided that he wanted to run a support group. And so we started a support group in our area. And what we did was we brought guest speakers into our support group to talk about things that people had interest in. So we would survey the group and say, what do you want to talk about? What kinds of things do you want to hear about? And some of our guests have been physical therapists, occupational therapists. We've had, people that specialize in wheelchairs and people that specialize in assistive devices like canes and walkers. And even people that, do disability, how to help someone file for disability. There's so many things that you tend to go through over the span of this, and it's ever changing and it evolves. So, we try to be a little bit sensitive to that. And when we have the meetings, we try to incorporate guest speakers that are going to talk about all those topics that kind of touch people's lives and that some people might be dealing with. So if you are part of a support group or you do become involved in a support group, I would encourage you to be an active participant, make your voice heard, get your opinions out there, and your ideas out there, because it's helpful to the support group leader and it's helpful to all the other members in the support group. So, you know, I hope I've given you some things to think about. You don't have to be alone. And I think that's probably the number one message I'd like to convey is you're not alone in this. There are other people that can be helpful to you and that are going through the exact same thing that you are. And you just need to know where to find them. And where to find them is in a support group. So I would encourage you, if you don't already belong to a support group, to look up a support group in your area and get involved. And don't forget, 6 days from now, it's September 25th, and I'm going to want to hear from you on the 28th of the month. Tell me all the wonderful things that you're doing to raise awareness about ataxia. So have a great night, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
To learn more about ataxia and how you can help, visit www.ataxia.org.